Hi guys, hopefully everyone can hear me. I remembered to have my headphones on because I always forget that when I'm doing these. For some reason, my phone does not like to work. So let me just open and we can get going here. That way I can see your comments. If you are coming in, I'm not sure why this is not going. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so if you are catching this live, guys, make sure to welcome yourself in the comments. If you are catching this later, make sure to comment replay. I am super, super excited to have this talk today. This is with a longtime client, Karrie. She is an amazing person, such a fun person in general, an awesome client. And this is our third one. It's our third anniversary, which is insane. So I'm going to quit blabbing and get her on here because she has some really good stuff to talk about. And let's see. Okay, should be adding. Karrie, can can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, have the headphones. We're good.
We did.
I, if anyone remembers the first time we tried doing this and it was just like chaos.
I was stressed out. I'm like, oh no, not.
I know. We're both learning. We're both learning. Melanie, thanks for being here. Just saw your comment. So I'm super excited to talk to you. I mean, we blab to each other all the time, but this is extra special because I can't believe we're already at 3 years together, working together.
It's amazing, isn't it? Three
Like
years.
it just blew on by. I was surprised how fast it went because it feels like we just met for like the first time yesterday. I guess we'll kick it off with a really good question to start is, it's been 3 years. Like, what has changed for you throughout this journey?
Um, what hasn't changed? It's been pretty amazing.
Hmm.
I changed pretty much everything.
Hmm.
The way I prioritize myself,
Hmm.
probably the biggest thing. I put a lot of time into me now, which I never did in, my whole life because I had
Hmm.
kids. And um, I like I like exercise. Well, I don't like exercise that much. I
But you do
I
it.
prioritize it,
Hmm.
me. Um, uh, the Yeah, everything's changed. My thoughts on the way I eat, the way I shop, the way I do everything.
Hmm.
I think there isn't much that hasn't changed in 3 years.
Hmm. And it's crazy to think, like, I remember one of the things that we started off with was you're like, oh, I've done Weight Watchers. I mean, you were like Weight Watchers VIP member.
Absolutely. I I joined and quit at least 30 times in my life.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that was a
And
big
I,
one.
yeah, and I remember I always never forget this. You were eating basically all like non-fat, low-fat things, and eating fat was like a pure terror for you because of Weight Watchers.
Yes.
How do you feel
It re-
about now?
oh, well, yeah, now I'm like, can I have a little more? Yeah.
Literally.
You you do think, oh, non-fat,
Hmm.
non-fat, because you want to get more points and eat more food. But
Hmm.
once you understand how the macros work, it becomes kind of second nature
Hmm.
with your proteins, your fats, and your carbs.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, I'm really not hungry. That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest thing is I've done this, and during maybe deficits toward the end, you
Hmm.
see a little bit like, oh, but honestly, for the most part, it's not really that hard.
Hmm.
It takes time and effort and, the food prepping but it's so worth it.
Hmm. And you mean by not hungry, meaning like you're not starving, like we're
Oh,
eating a lot of food.
oh, eating a lot. a
Mhm.
lot. Sometimes it's surprising how much.
It is. There was one point, sorry, go ahead.
You learn kind of too, like what you can gives you more bang for your buck. You
Yeah.
like what fills you more, what
Hmm.
the, plow through your macros.
Hmm.
You know quickly that all of a sudden that one slice of pizza doesn't seem worth it with the other things that you can
Right,
have.
right.
I'm not to
And
say you can't have the pizza because you can.
hmm, yeah, and we've definitely gone through periods where I remember like our first holiday season. And I think you were a bit worried about it because, holidays are still a big deal for you. You have lots of grandkids and family. And I remember I told you, like, I don't want you to track that day.
Yeah,
Like, don't even worry about it.
mind blowing.
What did you think was going to happen?
Oh, I thought I'd gain. I mean, that right away, it's always that push pull, because you automatically go into panic,
Hmm.
you know. But I've learned over the years, and of course, I'm not saying that you still don't have to, talk me off the ledge at times, but I have learned that if you just get right back into your routine,
Hmm.
it nothing really happens.
Hmm.
Might bloat a little, gain a couple pounds, but it just comes right back off.
Hmm. And we talk about that a lot. I think, and this is something, I don't know if you're going to get mad at me for bringing this up. Not mad, but you are someone that very, very hard worker, but you're also very, very hard on yourself. And I know you kind of voiced this to me. You kind of felt a little bit like a fraud to do this, this call because you were struggling a bit after vacation.
Yes.
But I think the really cool thing, and I think I did text you this, was that you're just such a great example of like going through the different phases in your life and different events that happen. And yes, you might like fall down, struggle a little bit, but then you get back on and you keep moving forward because the person that I met 3 years ago, that person's so far removed than who you are now and what your mindset is like. Does
Uh,
that kind of resonate?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, there's no question. It's been a rough month or so. I'm on maintenance now, and I went to Italy for 2 weeks, and then came home. And in a week and a half, I went to a weekend in DC, and in a couple weeks, I'll be going to Napa. So it's been a rough road, and then
Hmm.
following up with holidays. But I mean, I'm getting back to normal and
Hmm.
on for the next adventure.
Yeah, and it's just like I see you that you don't like sometimes you can get stuck in spirals, which hey, we all do. Like I'm guilty of texting my coach like everything is falling apart. We both do that to the same extent, but it's like keeping in the back of your mind like this is a journey.
Yeah.
This is going to take some time. And it even reminds me like the very first conversation we had. I remember because you're the only person I ever told this to because it's the only time it ever happened so far. But I told you like, and this is going to take time. It's going to take not 1 year, not a couple years. It's going to take some years. What did that do for you to hear that in the very like beginning?
In the very beginning, it probably was a little discouraging because you kind of want, let's
Yeah.
face it, everybody wants that instant.
Hmm.
I I jokingly laugh because everyone asks me,
Hmm.
like if they see me and they haven't seen me in a long time, oh, you look great. Oh yeah, I've lost some weight, and or if yeah, I've lost 80 pounds. First question, bar none, how long did it take? How long?
Hmm.
Never really even
Hmm.
how. It's more
Hmm.
like, how long did it take you? And
Hmm.
you know, I used to be that person. Like, I used to be that person that would always be like, oh, how long? And now it's like, what does it matter? It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how. It doesn't matter if it's, 6 months, if it's 10 years, as long as you're making momentum and you're getting a better lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. I don't think it really matters. It's not a race,
Hmm.
you know?
And you were a very social butterfly.
Yeah.
Like you do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So you went to Italy. we weren't dieting when you were in Italy.
No,
We made it a point to be done with dieting by the time you were getting ready for Italy.
right,
So this is why, I told her that it's going to take some time. And I basically tell anyone who wants to work with me it's going to take time because I don't like to set up false expectations and you expect I'm going to hit my dream body in
right.
1 year. Why tell someone that if it's most likely impossible, especially if you want to go on vacation and do all these things. And you didn't want to track and be like, I have to be losing weight in Italy, right? You want to enjoy that. That's like, you don't get to do that every day.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so I think it's like you have to think of like, okay, my quality of life, I want to have a good quality of life, I want to be able to enjoy my life and not be stuck counting every little thing or being on something specific. And then like, what's the point if your quality of life is so, so low?
Right. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's been a great, experience so far.
Mm, that's good. It better be no.
I know.
For those that don't know, I used to train Karrie in person as well. I miss those days.
I do too.
Um, they were super fun. And I remember, like when I first met you, you were walking down the steps and you were walking like one step at a time, like one step, both feet, one step,
Yeah.
both feet. Like,
Yeah.
yes, death gripping the rail on the way down. And then
Yes.
I remember one day when I came to your house 3 times a week, every week, you were like, Maddie, look. And she was walking down the steps, like one at a time, her hand loosely on the rail. And I was like, holy crap.
Right.
Like, just,
And
go ahead.
so glad I did that because it prepared me for Italy.
Oh, oh my God. You would have been like bedridden after the first day.
And there aren't really handrails in most situations. So,
No, there weren't. Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's just cool to see like, the stuff that we've done has not only just, change your quality of life, but you can go out and do more things. Like I remember the airplane, being on the airplane and the seat belt was like a worrisome thing for you.
oh, yeah, absolutely. Going to Kennywood.
Hmm.
Uh, any type of thing where you thought it's going to be so embarrassing if I can't get the strap on or I can't get the,
Hmm.
any of the harnesses, any of the, you live your life in, just a constant state of what if, what if, what if, and
Hmm.
getting back. And I still have a ways to go, but from the person that I was, it's night and day. It
Hmm.
is it's amazing how different my life is now.
Hmm.
Sometimes is very humbling to think, wow, yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes me want to cry because I remember like just seeing you then
Oh,
and
like
just like,
my husband even said, but Italy was beating everybody up,
uh,
even people that were relatively fit,
mhm.
And my husband said, Karrie, you never would have been able to do this had you not lost that weight. And more importantly, I think more than just the weight, for me is the building muscle,
Mhm.
getting strong,
Mhm.
because you can lose weight and not do that, but my frame is so much stronger now.
Mhm.
My knees, I had such bad knees. I had everything. I had bad ankles, bad knees, bad hips, everything that kind of connected. And now everything is so much stronger. Like I can get out of the chair without holding on, without making sounds.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that is super cool because yeah, like the weight loss is fantastic, right? But also like with your age, I want to say it's like an increased risk of like, I don't know, something crazy, like 25 or whatever, of falling and breaking a hip. And, there have been times where I remember you texted me and you're like, oh my God, I
right.
fell. And you were
Yeah.
okay, right? You just had like maybe a bruised,
Yeah.
arm or something, but there were no breaks or knock on
Right.
wood, there wasn't anything wrong.
Right.
And I can only imagine if we hadn't been training for that long and you fell, what would have happened?
Right. No, you're right. I mean, I can't speak highly enough of the impact that the exercise has made. As much as
Mhm.
I kind of don't like it,
But you do it.
I do surprisingly. that is one thing that has changed a lot in me, uh,
Mm-hmm.
even more so than the food.
Mm-hmm.
I prioritize the exercise. Like, it is stressful to me to think, how am I going to get my 3 days of the weightlifting in? 3 days, even
Mm-hmm.
like we went to Italy, I was sometimes thinking I may have to double up to get them all. You know, I,
No,
but
we don't do that.
I prioritize,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to miss that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember it was like getting you to do it at first. You're like, oh, here we go,
Uh,
you know.
it was
And
horrible.
it's always harder, and I say this for any habit. It's always harder to like start a habit that you haven't done in a really long time. And then once you've, seen the benefits, see when it's done for you and feel the benefits. And then I remember even when you were like, my clothes are fitting different, and I could tell it was getting easier for you to work out because you were more bought in. You
Right.
had the feeling of it, you felt better in your body, and then you had like, you could see it visibly getting a new wardrobe like every 6 months because everything was just flying off of you.
Right, right. Which was kind of fun. Yeah.
Which we'll have to look forward to with our next
Uh,
dieting phase.
I'm looking forward to it.
What things are you most thankful for now? We kind of touched a little bit on that, but having
Um,
gone through this.
Probably I'm most thankful, and I do say this all the time, I'm most thankful to be able to move. I I can't even describe to you what I was going through before this and why I reached out to you, because I remember going to New York City I love Broadway, to see shows, and sitting in the seats, and I had such bad knees that I couldn't bend my knee at a 90-degree angle to sit in a
Mm-hmm.
small, and you can't really extend your legs. It's like an airplane. It's hard to extend. It was so uncomfortable. At one point, I actually had to stand partially through a show because I was in so much pain trying to sit there. The little things that you take for granted that most people don't even think twice about, that I
Mm-hmm.
struggled with. So it's it's funny every day, and I can say honestly, almost daily, there's something that I do that now I take for granted, but I can't help but stop and say, wow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
you just did that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
really made me, happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's been probably the biggest thing that has changed for me, and has made me so grateful, because until you can't do that, you don't realize
Mm-hmm.
what that's.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that my health is better. I mean, there's just so much to be grateful for, truthfully. I'm grateful
Mm-hmm.
to you.
As am I to you, because you've been so fun to work with, and watching your quality of life improve like year after year, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's more than just like, oh, we lost 5 pounds, it's like, no, we're walking up the steps easier and down the steps easier.
and even mentally, like, I'm grateful for the mental state that I'm in right now. There was a time in my life that literally the last thing I thought about before I went to bed was how bad my day sucked. Like, my day sucked. I didn't eat right. I,
Mm-hmm.
had a day. Everything, it was either a good day or a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
You like labeled in between. And I thought, you know, I would wake up thinking, okay, today I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Like, it's literally every night it would be that struggle, that push pull. And then, of course, like the first thing when you went off or did something bad, then I'd say, oh, I'll start again tomorrow. Where that part of my life is completely over. There is
Mm-hmm.
again, or, it's just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I do something, and I do things, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I drank in Italy. I do my things that everybody does. It's called life. Even when
Mm-hmm.
I do that, I don't beat myself up as badly anymore. It's just like I don't get panicky.
Mm-hmm.
that, oh no, this is I just kind of dust myself off and say, okay,
Mm-hmm. Is there anything specifically that is like a motivating for you now, or it's just such a part of your routine? It's just like we keep going.
um, motivations. I have to think about that. Well, you, you motivate me. Honestly, pictures.
Mhm.
It's funny when sometimes I'll be looking through my phone and, trying to clean out old pictures or whatever and looking, and then I'll stumble across a picture and I'll send it to my kids, and they're like, oh my God, mom. That is so motivating.
Mhm.
Smaller clothing size.
Mhm.
I'm getting to the point now where I don't have to shop in the plus size department. That's very motivating.
Mhm.
You know, that's huge for me.
Yeah.
Because
No,
it's
yeah.
years I was in the plus sizes. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, we talked about being able to move, being able to run around outside with my grandkids. I never thought I'd be able to play tag with them, and
Mm.
so that's very motivating.
I love
Yeah.
that. That's good. Um, Second to last question. So when we talked about slip ups a little bit, and I know a lot of women in here can kind of agree, they feel like they're doing really good, and then they have a weekend where it goes like crazy, holidays, whatever. You said this a little bit, but what do you tell yourself when you like through the holidays or through Italy, and like how were you not worried about getting back on track eventually?
So, um, I would be lying to tell you that sometimes I don't get freaked out. The Italy trip was rough because normally when we do trips, they're, 7 days at the most. Uh,
Hmm.
Italy trip was 14 days,
Hmm.
and there was pasta, a lot of pasta. I don't eat seafood, so that was an issue. I couldn't really just say, oh, I'll get seafood. So
Hmm.
for me, that kind of freaked me out a little, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I kept thinking, oh gosh, what am I going to weigh when I get home? And of course, I was up, travel, alcohol,
Hmm.
alcohol in, which, I don't typically do a lot of alcohol.
Hmm.
So I guess, you know, I kind of think I gave you a 911 call when I
You
got out.
did, you did, but we turn it around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're not in the same mindset,
no,
just talking to you now, that you were when you got home. Like what
uh,
changed?
no. Well, I just started. I just
Hmm.
said, "Okay, today, it's a new day. I'm going to,
Hmm.
start counting my macros."
Hmm.
And it's so easy. Like within 2 meals, you're right back into the cycle.
Hmm.
That's what I think is so fun about it is you just sort of just get right back into it, and it's like
Hmm.
you've never missed a beat.
Hmm.
A couple days later, you're looking at the scale and you're like, oh wow, she was right. It is coming right back up.
Exactly, exactly. And I think a lot of women, including myself, can sit there and beat themselves up and like, oh, I missed, I did this, I did that. And then we just keep doing that. And then the scale just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. And then you're kind of like, why start? You know?
Start to eat your feelings too.
Hmm.
Rest. You're like, oh, I'm going to eat a candy bar. I'm going to eat like,
Hmm.
you know, you just got to
Yeah.
keep moving.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest change in me in this last 3 years
Hmm.
because I didn't let that keep going, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I just said, nope, stop. I've worked really hard for this, really hard for this. I don't think you can appreciate the time spent in my little gym. Um, the, the the effort that I put into, which is, we were talking about the things that has changed in me.
Hmm.
It's amazing to me. Like I have this thing about I've got to get over 10,000 steps a day.
Hmm.
If I get like 8,000 steps, I feel I was today, which is kind of funny because it's still a lot of steps.
Yeah.
I make I'm like, no, I got to get I got to do it.
Hmm.
But that has changed a lot too. So yeah, it's been, you just keep going,
Hmm.
just keep going.
I
Yeah.
like that. What would you tell someone who is on the verge of, okay, I'm ready to start in my health journey, I'm ready to take it serious, but I'm kind of like nervous? What would you tell them?
Oh, get over it. Seriously, I would love to talk to people, women. I'm 61. I would love to talk to women in their 30s, 40s, you know, 50s, and tell them that it's never too late to start this journey, no matter what your outcome is, and it's always going to be good. You know, anything you add to your life is going to improve your life. But do I wish if I would have gotten it, lifting weights in my 40s? Oh, I would give anything to have that. The injuries that I could have prevented, and I know I would have prevented a lot.
Hmm.
Pain that I've been through, and I would recommend it to anybody. And to, again, prioritize yourself. You
Hmm.
really stop and think about the money that you spend on silly stuff, stupid stuff. Start,
Hmm.
the drive-through. If you're getting a Starbucks every day, if you're getting that money, it adds up, and you could spend it on yourself. I coach. Yeah, it has made a world of difference to me. It
Hmm.
really.
I love that.
It's somebody to. It's accountability. It's somebody that is really like, you care.
Hmm.
I mean, my husband loves me, and I might say to him, "Oh man, I had such a bad day eating today," and his little standard answer is always like, "Oh, you'll be fine." Yeah, but sometimes that's not what you want to hear. You want somebody to like say, "Okay," But
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to. The accountability is amazing. So I would recommend, if you can, get a coach. Do what you can do. Even if it's baby steps, like my gym, I don't go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. I
Hmm.
Even after 3 years in of lifting weights, I don't think I would be comfortable going to a gym.
Hmm.
But I love my workouts that you design for me and with my equipment, and it's working.
Yeah, and all you have is like what, dumbbells from like, 5 pounds to
Uh,
40.
yeah, I think well, yeah, I have like adjustable ones that are like how
Mhm.
I got a bench, dumbbells,
Right, but we don't need machines. Like it's just
a resistance
a lot of,
ball, some
yeah.
band. It's pretty, and honestly, they're challenging at times.
Uh,
What you think of?
I know. I know when you're extra dying when I put anything like single leg.
Yeah. I always can remember one of the first times you came to my house. And I had to lay back on the bench.
Oh, oh, that one is ingrained in my memory. When you,
I was doing, and I went to roll back, and I rolled right off the bench.
oh, that was such a funny one.
Oh,
Oh.
it was funny. I think of that often.
That really was like core memory for me. And I was like, we're gonna be doing this for a long time. Well, thank you so much, Karrie, for being here. You are the best, so fun, and I just love watching your journey just as you get stronger and, find new things out about yourself and what you're capable of. And I just can't wait to see what else you accomplish.
I'm looking forward to 100 pounds. So
Yes, we're one diet phase away.
I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a big celebration.
That will be our 2024 celebration.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I will probably text you later. So I will talk to you soon then.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. All All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you really enjoyed my talk with Karrie. She is such a fun client and just really cool to see. Like, truly, I'm sure if you heard it or watching the replay, how much this has changed her life on just like quality of life standard. And that I'm so honored to be able to help her, to be able to go to Italy and thoroughly enjoy her time in Italy. Because, like her husband said, like, Italy's tough on your body. Traveling is tough on your body. And she was able to experience and make some awesome memories. And she's 61 and continuing to make more memories with a stronger body. So that was super cool. I would love to hear if you learned anything or like this motivated you in any way. I know Laura is super motivated, looking forward to feeling stronger and healthier. So I'm super excited for her as well. I have a free movement assessment. Karrie actually did this movement assessment. It's what I had her do to get her started on her fitness journey. I'm going to link it. Once I get this up, I'll edit the caption. But if you want that movement assessment, and I'll walk you through it and we'll come up with a warm up for you to get started with your fitness journey. Just comment I'm in and we'll get that started. But super, super fun talk. And let me know what you learn. I'll talk to you guys soon.